A $9.99 coffee table you have to build yourself seems like the punchline to a joke, yet it is the core of a business model that makes IKEA more profitable than competitors losing billions. The secret is this: you become the worker, the shipper, even the warehouse, while hundreds of millions follow suit worldwide. What makes this strategy unstoppable? And why does no one else dare copy it? Let's unpack the real mechanics behind IKEA's profits. Pick up a Billy bookcase at IKEA, and the real work is just beginning. Unlike most furniture retailers, IKEA does not pay anyone to assemble your purchase, haul it to your car, or deliver it to your door. Instead, every step, finding the right aisle, lifting the flat pack onto a cart, driving it home, deciphering the manual, and wrestling with Allen keys, lands squarely on the shopper. For a simple item, that means at least 30 minutes of unpaid labor. For a wardrobe or a kitchen, it can stretch into hours. Multiply that by over 800 million store visits a year, and the labor savings become enormous, easily worth billions if IKEA had to pay even minimum wage for the same work. But what if you do not want to do it yourself? IKEA has an answer, TaskRabbit, the gig platform it quietly acquired in 2017. Now customers can pay someone else, starting at £31 in the UK, for basic assembly, with prices rising for bigger projects. It is a neat trick. IKEA first eliminated assembly costs, then turned convenience into an optional extra revenue stream. There is an unexpected upside too. Behavioral economists call it the IKEA effect. In studies, people who assemble their own furniture end up valuing it much more, sometimes by as much as 63%. So customers not only supply free labor, they often walk away feeling proud of what they built. At IKEA, doing the work is not just tolerated, it is part of the product's appeal. In 1956, an IKEA designer named Gillis Lundgren faced a simple problem. The Love-It table would not fit in his car for a catalog shoot, so he unscrewed the legs, packed them flat, and drove off. That moment set off a chain reaction inside IKEA. From then on, the company began reimagining furniture as a puzzle. How small could a product become if every piece was designed to fit neatly in a box? Flat pack engineering turned logistics into a science. Take the case of a popular IKEA lamp. By reducing the number of parts from 33 to just 9, engineers managed to shrink the packaging by more than a third. The result? A 27% cut in price with less wasted space and easier transport. The Lack table tells a similar story. By switching to a honeycomb cardboard core, IKEA slashed the table's weight and made it stackable in dense, flat boxes. Though exact numbers are not public, company case studies and analysts agree. Redesigning Lack saved thousands of truckloads and well over €1 million in shipping costs each year. Each design tweak multiplies across millions of products, letting IKEA squeeze more items into every shipment, cut prices, and keep stores acting as their own warehouses. The flat pack revolution is not just clever packaging, it is the engine that compresses costs at every step. Across 483 stores in 63 countries, IKEA's size is not just for show, it is the core of its pricing scale. When a company orders raw materials and components at this scale, suppliers line up for the chance to win a contract. Many of these relationships last over 11 years, giving IKEA the leverage to negotiate consistently lower costs and lock in quality over the long term. The results show up on the price tag. Take the Poang chair, designed in the 1970s and still a staple in living rooms around the world. In the early 1990s, a Poang could cost up to $300. Today you will find it for $79, a real price drop of about 70%. That is not a one-off sale. IKEA sells about 1.5 million Poang chairs every year, each one benefiting from decades of design tweaks and the muscle of global scale. Multiply that across 2,000 new products launched annually, and the effect compounds. Suppliers compete to keep their spot, while IKEA's volume guarantees mean more efficient factories and lower prices for customers. The Poang is not just a chair, it is proof that relentless scale can turn design icons into affordable basics. Inside IKEA's design headquarters, every new product begins with a question. What's the lowest possible price this can sell for? Instead of designing a chair, a lamp, or a bookcase and then figuring out how much to charge, IKEA's teams set a target price first, sometimes as low as a few euros, and then work backwards. Materials, construction methods, packaging, even the number of screws all have to fit inside that price. This approach only works because IKEA controls nearly every link in its supply chain. The company does not just design furniture, it co-owns factories, component plants, and even facilities that make the screws, plugs, and fasteners that hold each piece together. Designers work side by side with engineers and production managers, adjusting prototypes until they can be manufactured at scale for the right cost. Owning production means there is no middleman taking a cut or adding delays. If the cost of wood rises, IKEA can tweak a design or shift sourcing almost immediately. If a new process cuts waste by a few percent, it gets rolled out across hundreds of millions of units. This tight integration between design, manufacturing, and logistics is what lets IKEA hit those rock-bottom prices and keep them there, even as costs change. A trip to IKEA isn't just about shopping for a bookshelf. It is a full-day event, and that is by design. Somewhere near the halfway point, the unmistakable smell of Swedish meatballs wafts from the restaurant. Ingvar Kamprad, IKEA's founder, put it bluntly: "It's difficult to do business with someone on an empty stomach." The numbers back him up. Food sales now rake in roughly 2 to 3 billion euros a year, making IKEA one of the world's largest restaurant operators by volume. The company says it serves about 1 billion meatballs annually. In some markets, surveys show nearly a third of visitors come primarily for the food, not the furniture. But the real trick is not in the menu, it is in the maze. A typical store stretches over 300,000 square feet, laid out as a one-way path that winds through mock bedrooms, kitchens, and living rooms. Shoppers, often families, follow the arrows, passing every department and countless impulse bins. Retail analysts estimate every extra minute spent in the store adds more than €1 to the average basket. The food keeps people inside. The maze makes sure they see everything before they leave. Together, the restaurant and the showroom quietly boost sales by turning a simple shopping trip into an all-day treasure hunt. IKEA's obsession with low prices runs deeper than surface-level cost-cutting. Engineers at the company have spent years redesigning everyday items to use less material without sacrificing function. One of their most effective tricks is the hollow table leg. Instead of solid wood, many IKEA tables use a lightweight honeycomb structure inside, a simple change that cuts material costs by about 28% on those parts alone. That saving isn't just theoretical. It's baked into the price tag, allowing IKEA to sell side tables and desks for a fraction of what traditional furniture makers can manage. But lower prices don't mean skipping quality checks. IKEA operates more than 100 testing labs around the world, where products are bent, dropped, and battered by machines that simulate years of daily use. Shelves are loaded until they bow, hinges are opened and closed thousands of times, and finishes are exposed to heat and spills. The goal is straightforward: prove that cost engineering does not have to mean disposable furniture. Each hollow leg and honeycomb panel is stress tested to make sure it holds up in real homes, building trust that the savings are not coming at the customer's expense. Hidden beneath the blue and yellow storefronts, IKEA's real financial engine hums quietly. Every IKEA store, whether in Paris, Shanghai, or Pittsburgh, pays a 3% royalty on all sales, not to a local office, but to inter-IKEA systems in the Netherlands. On nearly 45 billion euros in global sales, that single line item generates over 1.3 billion euros a year. It is not a side hustle. It is a royalty stream that comes off the top, regardless of whether a store is run by the Inca Group or a regional franchisee. Compare that to the razor-thin margin on the actual furniture. In a typical year, IKEA's net profit is just 700 million euros on 44 billion euros in revenue, a margin of about 1.6%. Wayfair, by contrast, burns through $1.33 billion in losses trying to sell furniture online, with customer acquisition costs that soar to $165 per shopper. IKEA's cost is about €3 per customer, thanks to destination stores and a brand people actually seek out. The final twist is that most of IKEA's profits are not sucked out by shareholders. The Inca Group is owned by a Dutch foundation, which reinvests 85% of its profits back into the business. The result is a self-fueling flywheel. Low prices drive volume. Volume drives scale. Scale drives bargaining power. And the 3% royalty ensures the system remains profitable, no matter how slim the margins on each Billy bookcase. Today, IKEA's profits hinge on millions who are willing to do the work themselves, fueling a system competitors cannot easily replicate. As cost pressures reshape retail, the question is not how cheap furniture can get, but how much more of the process we will accept as our own. What would you build next?